not sure how much Rush Limbaugh is really imploding. It is certainly delightful to watch him scramble a little bit, but I have my doubts about whether this will really hurt him much in the long term.
Here's what we're buzzing about at NewsBeast. We have Rebecca and the great Elise Jordan in the house.
Woo.
Woohoo!
Thanks for having me.
Welcome,
It's
Elise.
great to have you here. So, got a lot going on in the world, just a little bit. We got Super Tuesday. We got the new Bruce Springsteen album. We've got, we'll talk about that later. And we've got Rush Limbaugh imploding, and Israel, Iran, the United States, Bibi, and Obama, a lot going on.
I'm not sure how much Rush Limbaugh is really imploding. It's certainly delightful to see all of these advertisers flee.
Well, but it's like 12, and now 2 radio stations told them to get out. We don't want you around anymore.
Yeah, but remember when Don Imus imploded, and now Don Imus is doing just fine. I mean,
Not just that, Don Imus is passing harsh judgment upon Al Rushbaugh.
Exactly. I mean, it is certainly delightful to watch him scramble a little bit, but I have my doubts about whether this will really hurt him much in the long term.
It was just so personally nasty, though, and
there's this great Twitter meme that's happening that's the hashtag is Remember When Rush or something, and it's so personally nasty to her. Absolutely. I mean, it's completely abominable, but that's
Not
Rush
that
Limbaugh.
atypical,
He
yeah.
is not. It's the opposite of atypical. It is typical.
It's
It is
another
the
day at the office,
definition
yeah.
I
of
think
Rush
that
Limbaugh.
Obama's really making an effort to reach out to women too. I
Yeah.
think that he's very concerned.
it
Like he
was
knows that he
so
has to have the women
clever.
vote. Republicans are obviously really struggling in this area this year. So I mean, he's playing it to all his advantage.
There's a great editorial in the New York Post this morning that is just so desperate and sad, where they were so excited because they wanted a war on religion. They wanted Obama
War on
fighting
religion.
Catholicism, and instead they got a Republican war on women, which couldn't be more damaging to them, I think, in the election.
And the tone was just general angst and...
The tone of the editorial was like, guys, let's get focused on the real story here. The real story is that Obama has caused this terrible affront to the Catholic Church. But
Stick
I'm
to your
sorry,
talking points.
I'm sorry, it's too late.
It's-
The
yeah.
story completely got away from them, and Rush Limbaugh has done serious damage to the Republican Party.
And here's the thing, and I've got a story up today about this, talking on the talk radio programming side, which is all follow the money. The reason he's freaking out is the advertisers are leaving, but they're larger demographic changes. Rush's problem with women is compounding talk radio's problem with women. This huge erosion of female listeners. So female listeners wanting something other than like the hyper partisan sort of combative shtick. So, and that also parallels the Republicans' parties with women in the wake of Santorum and the contraception debate. So this is all one big tsunami that is heading in precisely the wrong direction. So anyway, it's fascinating stuff, and it really is the front of so many other stories. Let's talk President today, Super Tuesday, but also I think Santorum, Romney, and Gingrich all speaking at AIPAC today.
They are, and
Strangely, Ron Paul not invited?
we've already had President Obama made a very powerful speech, a
Yes.
big change in tone, and this is pointed out in Eli Lake's fabulous article that's in the NewsBeast.
We love Eli.
And it's talking about how the rhetoric on Israel has really changed in the election year, and especially rhetoric about Iran and Iran's nuclear ambitions. And so Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Obama had a meeting at the Oval for about 30 minutes solo, an hour and a half combined, and they came out of it, President Obama saying we've got to give sanctions a chance, we need to go back and maybe diplomacy still can work, and the Israelis just aren't as convinced. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Iran nuclear debate plays out over the course of this election year.
Significantly, Obama has really made a point of saying this time that his strategy and his belief is not in containment, it is in preventing
Right.
Iran from getting a nuclear weapon, which seems to me an important change. And what I loved from the meeting was, you remember those famous photographs after their last meeting where
Yes.
you see both of them and they couldn't be further
Couldn't
apart
be
and they're
less
both
psyched to be
scowling.
hanging out, yeah.
And this time, the photos that came out, Obama has a big grin on his face, and Bibi's still scowling a little bit, but
that's
he's
just
sort of,
cute.
I think that's how his face is.
Now, I want to nerd out speechwriter. You were former speechwriter for Condi Rice, Secretary of State. When you read the president's speech and Bibi's speech, I mean, what decisions stood out to you? For example, Bibi didn't say, now is the time for action on Israel. He indicated a degree of flexibility that was surprising.
He didn't say now is the time, but he said that time is running out.
Sure.
And I mean, he compared this to the Holocaust, and he quoted letters from the War Department to discussing like why Auschwitz couldn't be bombed. And so that was a pretty powerful.
Sure.
And he's really saying that the time to go, we've been saying that this has been a threat for the past 10 years, and it's been, we've done what we can in terms of diplomacy. Now we have to really look at if we're going to have to strike.
We're going to do a quick Super Tuesday preview recap. 10 states, 419 delegates. Let's get some predictions. What do you think?
Oh, geez. I think Romney's got it at this point. Romney's got it.
Well, okay, but
Newt is, looking.
Georgia.
He's going to win Georgia.
He's got Georgia, possibly Mississippi,
How do you
where
think
I'm
about
from. Ohio, Santorum could be pretty strong.
It's literally, in the CNN poll, it's tied. It's not statistical tie, it's tied. But the momentum seems to be going Romney. Tennessee tight, Santorum up healthy in Oklahoma. Gingrich 20-point lead in Georgia. So, and interesting, no polling in Idaho and North Dakota. Why do the pollsters hate North Dakota? I want to know.
A personal plea from John Avlon to do some polling.
Final word.
That's great.
Final word, Sunny.
I'm going to go reluctant. Can I just say the last word I heard? The last word that sticks to
I'm
my
going
brain.
Springsteen because that's really what I'm thinking about today. That's all for us at NewsBeast. We'll see you tomorrow.